Former SARS executive Johann van Loggerenberg has been giving testimony at the impeachment hearings into the fitness of suspended public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane to hold office. Van Loggerenberg is the second witness to be called since the hearings began on Monday. Let's take you to Athi Mtongana now, our reporter who's been listening in. Athi, tell us just a bit more about what's been dealt with as far as the rogue unit report and why this witness is today speaking to MPs.
Well, Temagila, I just want to take you back to recap what happened yesterday before going into the crux of what is actually transpiring today, and as far as the second witness that is currently testifying before the Section 194 committee. I'm joined by the General Bantu Olamisa from the UDM. I want to touch on the issue that you raised yesterday in relation to the President, saying that you would like him to come and appear before this inquiry in relation to the CR17 investigations. Talk to us about what backed this kind of suggestion.
You will recall that the expert who was presenting yesterday's first witness did allude to that the Concord judges themselves in their rulings have accepted that people can make mistakes. And then out of that, I said, one of the charges here emanates from the issues related to public protector investigating the CR17. Therefore, if that is the case, what if the judge High Court judge, Gauteng, made a mistake by not making sure that let us screen these funds to make sure that no money is coming from the state which have made its way to the CR17 campaign. Because the public protector, when she tabled that report in court, as you know, they didn't agree with her. It's fine. But the question still remains, in light of Zondo Commission's report, which has pointed fingers to the authorities of this country, that they have used the state's resources. Over and above that, President Cyril Ramaphosa himself has told his colleagues that they must stop using funds, or rather they had used the funds for the campaign. So therefore there are a lot of questions which we need to clarify from him.
Wouldn't that need to be the onus of the court or dealt with outside of the committee, given also the fact that the public protector is also dealing with her suspension outside of the committee through the courts? So now you're saying that all of those issues should now also be ventilated within the committee, subsequently leading to then calling on the president to come and appear.
Well, of course, that's your opinion. My opinion, based on what I listened to and also read some of the judgments by Concord, which says people can make mistakes. Equally so, they can make mistakes. Well, we're not accusing them, we're using their own words. They said people can be fallible, they said so. So I'm saying the public is still interested to know, what if the monies of municipalities and ESCOMs through other companies like we have seen have been used as conduit for these campaigns? You can't deny that Bosasa, for instance, was used to channel monies to the ruling party and its leaders. So we need to ask him to come and question, just to assure that what he has in his purse, protected by the courts, is not linked to state looting. That's what we want to know. And if we are not asking these questions. And later on, that report which the courts have blocked revealed that some of the monies came from the state intelligence, and so on and so on. We just want to know. Nobody must be afraid. The president is accountable to the nation. He must account.
Thank you so much for your time, Bantu Olomisa of the UDM. You can continue to proceed, Bantu, while we continue then to speak to Thembekile. As you've heard then, Thembekile, Bantu Olomisa from the UDM saying that the president should be accountable to the nation as well as the committee, raising that point that he raised yesterday again in relation to asking and suggesting that the president appear before the Section 194 impeachment inquiry against the public protector in relation to the CR17 campaign. He says that they would essentially ask the president questions around this particular matter, regardless of what has transpired in the courts. And so today we'll continue hearing another side of the hearings, and as far as the investigations that the public protector conducted pertaining to the so-called SARS rogue unit. We know that the second witness is currently giving testimony in relation to him saying that he was not afforded an opportunity by the public protector to give his side of the story when the public protector issued that rogue unit report.
Athi Mtongana, so as things stand now, it is currently the evidence leader, right, dealing with van Loggerenberg's time as a witness at the impeachment hearings. Do we have a sense yet of the feeling of her legal representative in Advocate Busisiwe about this witness and the presence and the relevance, shall we say, of the evidence?
Well, even while the evidence leader was then proceeding to outline the historic or the history of the judgment pertaining to the so-called rogue unit judgment, she was asked by Advocate Busisiwe of whether is she actually questioning the witness or is she just giving a brief history of the judgment. He wanted the committee to outline what it is they are currently doing on day 3 of these proceedings, and then she emphasized how important it is to give a backdrop and a context of the judgment, because that's essentially why they've called the second witness today, the former executive from SARS, to give his side of the story, which he feels that he wasn't afforded by the public protector when she compiled that report. He even went as further as to say that the public protector made attempts to reach him through an address that he doesn't recognize. I'd like us to listen to what he had to say.
I'm sitting here on behalf of every single South African that was affected as a result of this. And that's the justice and the public interest that I list earlier on in my affidavit. It's a narrow issue, Chairperson and Committee, very narrow. An investigation was conducted, and in terms of the Public Protector Act, the person who occupies that office, who happens to be Ms. Mkhwebane currently, did not have a choice. She had to contact me and afford me sight of what the claims were, and she had to conduct an investigation without fear or favor or prejudice. And she failed to do all of those things. That's my complaint. It's really that simple. I wasn't heard once again in this whole saga. I was simply disregarded as if I didn't exist and I was completely irrelevant.